Santa Barbara.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like the 50s, and it's just a little Mexican town. Right on the 126. But, you know, everything's shot in LA, and I made it a point that everyone would ask me that question. So, consciously, I didn't want anything that was seen before. So I had to look hard. We had no permits, so we just run and gun. Those two guys, even the bus shows up to pick them up, I was like, just go on, get on the bus, get on the bus. So they take a step all the way, and the bus door is open, and then they chickened out. But, you know, we'd sit there, wait for that bus to come, wait for the bus, and like, oh, and action! And try to time it, you know, to where the bus was very, very tight.
So, I heard you guys giggling every time the baby dropped something.
Yeah, that's my kid.
That's our son.
What's that? Oh,
That's our scene-stealing son. Yeah. Wait, it works so
The thing about that scene with the baby, right? I mean, everything was going to show up whenever day, but when you see them on the rocks and it's MOS, there's no sound, and he just, you know, playfully lays his head on her shoulder. Well, I shot the swing scene on the rocks, and it was just horrible. It just didn't work. So she showed up with the baby.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Tim Ritter wants to ask you about how to direct.
Nice.
So anyway, she showed up with the baby, and I said, get in the swing set and hand her the baby, and let's reshoot the scene. So that was one take of swing sets with the kid, and he just kept throwing the ball down, and the two actors couldn't help but be real, because they had to deal with my son.
yeah.
And the scene worked out way better that way. Questions?
It did take me a while to figure out that it was California.
Yeah.
But you were purposely doing that.
Yeah. And then I just thought this image, you know, that was our house that we lost making it with the water slide. That's gone. Foreclosed.
That's why I was crying.
So that's why you were crying.
Yeah. So I said, do we have to pay the mortgage or can we buy more film? She said, okay, we can buy more film.
I was listening to Bonner.
That was it. But I thought that, you know, that image of him walking through suburbia in a killer, I just loved it.
One of my favorite things was when he said, "You're going to die out in the street with nothing."
Yeah.
I'm about to cry. And then he died in the house with everything.
Yeah. Right.
It's awesome.
It was, you know, my 20s were hard. I was in a little apartment on 15th Street and 7th Avenue. My father was a mess, and he was living in Port Authority, which is a bus station.
Yeah.
Because he was a mess, you know, and he would come knock on my door and ask me to go to the bathroom and give him $20, which is such a role reversal. So, you know, one of my favorite shots is that elevator just happened by happenstance. But, you know, the son is now up top, and the father is down, and he's got to get.
Oh, it's like my situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dreamy events.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I don't ask him to pee though.
Right.
I just ask him for 500.
Right. I didn't have that. But yeah, so that, I didn't know what to do with that. And he never saw this. He died when he was 56. But I wrote this play I put up twice in LA. It didn't work. I didn't direct it or anything. I just wrote it. But it didn't work. And then this other thing fell through, so I took the play and I wrote a screenplay in 3 weeks. That's how I did this.
Where did the name Seamus come from?
Sorry?
Where did the name Seamus come from?
I don't know.
I think it was always Seamus. I have a nephew, Seamus, but I don't know.
Seamus is Gaelic for James.
Well, you know, everything.
No, I think it was Shame, truthfully.
Shame.
I think it was originally Shame, and I think...
No.
Wasn't it?
Everybody,
Shame.
you know, everyone, the music for every character, the names of every character, they're, you know, Mickey's a Mick, he's a drinker. Seamus is just walking around with his shame from his childhood because I try not to spell everything out, but he has, you know, he's carrying the guilt for his mother being dead. You know, he should have been able to save her even though he was 12. So, Seamus is stuff like that. You know, and then there's an Oedipus Hamlet complex going on throughout the whole movie. but I tried to infuse.
Does he do, he must have Shakespeare.
Cotter? Oh, he's genius.
Yeah, he's done.
I'd call him up, he'd say, well, what do you want me to do? I go, I don't know, pick a soliloquy and we'll shoot it in the alley. He's like, okay, cool.
Hold it up.
And then some of the, I would read some Shakespeare and then I'd write my own stuff. Just to give this character who's, everyone's running and trying to be better than they are in the story.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like the Island of Misfit Toys. Maria thinks her way out is him. He thinks his way out is the book. Mickey thinks his way out is Suburbia Girl. Suburbia Girl needs some reality because she's in a fake suburbia. So
No, she just likes packaging.
Yeah, she does.
She was like the soundtrack.
Yeah.
How did you balance the different subplots? Because it seemed like you have 3 plots going
Yeah.
all through Seamus.
Yeah.
His father, his girlfriend,
Yeah.
his cousin. Were you trying to balance that?
I was, and then, thought maybe I bit off more than I could chew. They were all going to sort of intersect at some point, but I wanted, I could have made the movie shorter, but I didn't want to. I wanted uncomfortable moments that we miss in most movies. It's, hey, you're a jerk, you're a jerk, you're a jerk, slam the door and run in that scene. I wanted them to be how, I am. I'm comfortable with stuff. And so I let the camera linger, and then they want to cut, but I'm not cutting. And then this raw stuff comes out. But balancing it, yeah, it's hard, and then as you're doing it, you don't know if it's working, and then you try to cut it together, and you hope it's working, because now you're in it, and now you can't step back from it, so you're just kind of in the soup, and you hope it comes together. Yes, ma'am?
There were 2 things I especially loved in the film. One was the casting of the cousin's girlfriend.
Yeah.
She was just so... I just want, if you could just talk about how you cast her. And also the other scene I loved, sorry to interrupt, the other scene I loved was the scene with the agent.
Yeah.
That was just writing brilliance. And so, could you just talk about those 2 things?
Why don't you tell us about the agent?
Well, the lead guy and the agent are one or both acting friends of mine. The agent actually is an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. I put her ex-boyfriend in the movie.
It's very big of you.
He's a great guy.
Just so I can deal
He's
with
a great guy. He's a great guy.
But-
And now he is a casting director.
Sounds like you had some issues of your own to deal with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
And so Katie and Maria, she's been in like The Hot Chick and a bunch of.
She was a model and
She's a
stuff,
model.
but
So she came in, a bunch of girls came in. Maria
those
cried
were
on
the first 2 pictures he picked.
Yeah.
I have to say, as a producer, he picked those 2 pictures as those 2 girls to be those 2 roles before he ever met them.
And it just turned out they could act, so that was good.
I mean, it just, yeah.
Katie's like this
It's like meant to
huge
be.
plus-size model. She works all over the world. And that was her first movie. And she was a dream. Maria.
Katie was the cousin's girlfriend?
Yes.
She was delightful.
She is.
And she is in person. She's a light. She's fun.
Yeah.
I love the contrast of her angst and how rude, brash she was when she was around Seamus, but then the really sweet love scenes, what I mean,
Right.
in the play,
Right.
and the big smiles. It was like 2 different people. It was really awesome.
He
Somebody
gets
had
away
a
with
question.
saying
Tim had a
stuff like
question.
that. Nice package. What?
I know, right?
Who says that?
How could I own this?
Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hear it all the time. People say that.
So
That's
what?
new though, that term. It's not that. It's not-
I'll tell you a secret though. I'll tell you a couple secrets. So the death scene when the dad died, right? So I only had Cotter, who plays the father, I had for 2 days to shoot all this in 2 days. So he was at the loft, first the alley, then the loft.